Here we want to be able to find a domain and then sketch the graph of the function g of x, which is equal to 3x plus the absolute value of x divided by x. Now, we first need to take a look at what is the definition of the absolute value of x. Now, remember that this is a piecewise function. Okay, it's positive x if x is greater than or equal to 0. And it's negative x if x is less than 0. Okay, so what that means here is that we have g of x, which is going to equal 3x plus x over x and 3x minus x over x. So in here we know that this means that if x is greater than 0 and not greater than or equal to, because of the fact that we have x in the denominator, and then this becomes if x is less than 0. So let's simplify it a little further. So if we simplify it a little further, then we know that g of x is going to equal 3x plus x, which is 4x divided by x. And 3x minus x is going to be 2x divided by x. Given the restriction, if x is greater than 0 and if x is less than 0. So if we simplify it a little further, and we have g of x is equal to 4 if x is greater than 0, and it's equal to 2 if x is less than 0. And so now we want to be able to graph. So if we graph this function, what we get is a piecewise function. So what does that mean? That means that we have a horizontal line. So we have on our y-axis, we have a horizontal line that's going to go through 2 and a horizontal line that's going to go through 4. But there are restrictions. So we know that at 2, it's an open circle. And everything is going to be less than 0. So therefore, that is our graph for the horizontal line at 2. And then at 4, we also have a horizontal line, but that means that x is greater than 0. And again, we have an open circle, and it's going towards this direction to the right. And therefore, that is our graph of this piecewise function. Now that we've graphed it, we can either determine what is the domain and the domain of this function. Well, if we take a look here, we know that for when we have the function equal to 4, then it means it's going to start at 0, but not including 0, and go all the way to positive infinity. When the function is equal to 2, that means it's going towards or starting out at negative infinity and approaching all the way to 0 with a parenthesis. So therefore, we would say that the domain of this function is the following. We have negative infinity, 0, union, 0 to infinity.